Hey everybody, well, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Zach, and it's been a little bit, but happy to be back and making a few new videos here. So just wanted to kind of address the fact that I've been gone for so long. Don't take no videos for me not really working on content at all. I've actually had a lot of different projects that I've filmed most of. I just got to get them off my desk, and it's a little annoying, I guess, to just continue to say that, but it really is the truth. I've just been really busy, and everything's good. I just gotta get these videos actually edited and off my desk, and that typically means doing it really late at night. So trying to get them out. I've just been a little bit slower than I would have liked to. So be on the lookout for that. I've got a sweet project I've been working on the front end of my vehicle. Got some awesome stuff with Relation Race Reels and Trail Built that I'm gonna be talking more about. James Baroud has some sweet accessories, and I've been camping a fair amount with their tent lately. And and I've been playing around with some of the interior stuff on the 4Runner. I've also got this electrical project I've been trying to clean up and work on, and it's pretty custom, and I think it's kind of cool. So a lot's been going on, and I was just out at Overland Expo Mountain West. I was in the Dobinsons booth there, which was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with those guys and also see a bunch of people that I know in the industry and some of you. And so that was a lot of fun as well. So we've been trying to do a bunch of fun stuff, and I'm just need to catch up on all the content, really. That's all it is. And the Land Cruiser, if you want a little update on that, the Land Cruiser has been basically parked all summer. The transfer case, I think there's something that's binding, so it really needs to be rebuilt because it gets too hot going down the road. So that's something I need to work on as well. And maybe it's the U-joints and not the transfer case, but I got to figure out what's going on with that. So mainly just been sticking to the 4Runner. And man, I mean, the 4Runner's in a pretty sweet spot right now. I'm pretty excited. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. I think probably the only thing left that would really take it to the next level is something to add horsepower. So I've been having fun driving it this last couple weeks, and I'm excited to share more. But this video is about some new headlights that I'm testing out, and these are the new Morimoto XB Evo headlights, and I think they're pretty sweet. I mean, headlights in general now are becoming more of a subjective thing really than a performance thing, because if the color of the output matches what you like, for me personally, I want the amber to match across all the DRLs, and so that's something I look for, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But now these have sort of their normal mode, and then they have the off-road mode, which is higher output than even the Department of Transportation allows. So we're really getting to the point where it's not so much about how much the light can output, but more just the shape of the light, whether you think the cutoffs are clean, those sorts of things. So I'm going to show some footage later on that just shows that. So if you're interested in trying to kind of pick and choose between the different brands, you can see how these perform. So I'm going to do a bit of an unboxing, show a little bit of the install process, but I've got a lot of headlight videos already, so just go check those out if you really need a deep dive on the install or disassembly to actually get these put on the vehicle. They also have a really comprehensive DRL setup, so if you're not like me and you don't have a switch system, these are going to be pretty straightforward for you to install in, say, a stock 4Runner. And some of you might be clicking on this video because you have just a stock 4Runner and you just wanted a headlight upgrade. You're not interested in off-roading, you're not interested in overlanding, none of that. You just want cool headlights, and that's cool too. Like, honestly, do what you want with your vehicle, however you see fit, because at the end of the day, it's just about having fun with your vehicle. So that's kind of the catch-up, the lowdown. That's what we're going to do in this video, and looking forward to sharing some more content with you guys this fall. So stay tuned for that. One thing you also might notice too is my shop looks a little bit different. This is just my home garage, but it does serve its purpose well, and it's where I do all my projects, and I do a lot of stuff myself. And so Harbor Freight is actually a supporter of the channel. They've sponsored a lot of the equipment that I use. So just to kind of be transparent about that, they definitely support me. And I bought a lot of their tools prior to being supported by them. So the Hercules line and the Icon line especially I really like. I don't think every product from Harbor Freight is that high quality, so certain things I like to use and certain things I don't, but their Hercules line I've been really impressed with, and I've got lots of tools from them. I don't think any of my tools have failed yet. I do have a couple of my batteries that have needed to be replaced, but they have a 5-year warranty. And the batteries, I've got like maybe 10 of them, like 1 or 2 of them have failed. Just to kind of be transparent about that. And I'm going to be trying to kind of tackle a huge project this winter, hopefully. And they were willing to send me out a welder, so I'm going to be talking more about that. So cool projects kind of coming here in the future, and looking forward to getting all that stuff out to you still. So, all right, well, that's enough of that. Let's jump into this headlight video and see what these are all about. All right, so I'm just doing a little unboxing here. Here are all the components that come in the box, and then one of the headlights. So I just took them out so I could show you. Each headlight comes with a pre-installed key, and the key dictates what style of turn signal and DRL you have. So they have white and amber DRLs, and they also have different styles of turn signals. So they have a red, green, blue, and black key. I'll put all of the like breakdowns of that on the screen. But I'm going to use the black key because this is the sequential turn signal and the amber DRL. So amber sequential turn signal, amber DRL. I think all the turn signals are amber because that's the legal requirement by the Department of Transportation. So we'll take the black keys out of this bag here, set them aside. That's what we're going to use. It's really simple. All you do is take your headlight out of its bag, and the blue key, it's like plugging in one of your harnesses. So you just literally go on here and pop it off. So it looks just like a little harness plug. Take the black key right here and then push it right on in the same spot. So that's all we got to do. So that's ready to go. The next thing is, if you chose to option for the supercharger light drivers, that would mount in right here. I can take this one off just to demonstrate. I first want to test this without the superchargers. I'm not going to install these right away, but this is basically the off-road spec. So if you want to be DOT compliant and kind of not annoy people, I would recommend running this one. This one is going to be brighter, but just depending upon what sort of aftermarket lights you have. Now I've got so many lights, but I'm kind of curious how bright these are, so we will see. I tend to really point my headlights down as far as possible because then I just don't shine into people since the vehicle's lifted. So this is the driver. We're just going to leave that for now. One thing I have to do before we get out to the vehicle is we have to switch this around so that I've got the little plastic clip-in portion. So if we flip the headlight, on the 4Runners, there's this little bumper cover clip-in system, and so you got to drop that in right here. So that's cool. Before I do that, though, I want to just show you these different harnesses. So there's a couple things. They have this little resistor block. I don't exactly remember what this is for, but I think this has to do somehow with converting between halogen and LED technology. I don't exactly know why or for what reason you need this. I didn't read the instructions far enough to understand that. But it comes with a little magnet mount on the back side, so all you're going to do is push this somewhere magnetic where it's not going to bounce around, and this will plug into each headlight. So we have one for each headlight, and then we have 2 sets of harnesses. So, and actually they come with little plugs here, so I bet that's exactly what this is. So if you have a halogen light, then the voltage output might not be perfect, and that's why some people that switch out their like high beams or low beams with LEDs will then get this weird flicker at different times. That's due to the voltage output, and so this LED, I bet this is something that will correct for that. So when I was reading the instructions on my phone, these are required for the halogen vehicles like myself. So that's what we're going to do. I think pre-2019, they're all halogen low beams and high beams. Once you get to 2020, there's a mixture, and then like 2021 and on, they're all LEDs, so you probably don't need those. I'll just check the instructions for that and throw it on the screen. All right, last but not least, here we have 2 different styles of harnesses. So I'm going to open the packaging and just mention which one is for which. It's pretty obvious because you're just going to take it and make sure it plugs into everything. But we've got 2 model numbers here, so I'll quick run out to the vehicle and just figure out which one it is. See, one of these has like a fabric covering and one has a tape covering. So let's just go check out on the vehicle which one fits. One thing I really like about this is if you ever need to do work on these headlights or swap something out, it's one single harness to plug in and unplug. That's super genius. I really like that idea. And then last but not least, we have a DRL harness right here. So this is if you don't have your own switch system and you don't want to use the switch on the vehicle. This is going to be automatic power when they turn on and turn off. So I've actually started using my DRL switch on my vehicle for this, but I'll eventually hardwire this in as well. So what we have here is, this is one harness for the closer headlight, and this will go to your fuse box. And then there's an extension cable which will piggyback off of this and send another signal to the farther headlight. So that's what these two are for. But let's jump out to the vehicle and figure out which harness here plugs in where. All right, so the fabric harness is the one that I brought back. It's also the one that has this 4-prong, which I think is the differentiator. This is for 2020 plus, I would bet. So this is the halogen harness right here, and all the plugs have either 2 or 3 connections. So just to break that down, not a huge deal, you'll figure it out, but might save you a little bit of time. Okay, so here's the headlight. I'm gonna flip it over. I just pulled this off of my old headlight here, and this just goes right in this spot, just like so. So we'll pull off some of this plastic, flip the headlight over, and get this installed, and then we can toss this out on the vehicle. So like I said before, I might hold off on installing the DRL harness thingy, but that goes to the INJ fuse. But honestly, I'll link the instructions down below. It's a super easy install. All you do is route the harness to the headlight and plug it in, and it's one plug. So if you decide you want to do that, great. I'll probably end up cutting up my harness so I can wire it into my Garmin switch system, which is also a very easy thing to do. All you do is strip some of the wire where you cut, and then you can put a ring connector on the end and connect it to the Garmin. So these are nice harnesses too. Like, sometimes the harnesses are super cheap, but it looks like they really did a good job of making these harnesses, which I really like. This product is really thought through. I'll give Morimoto kudos on this product. I really like it. Curious to see how the output is and if the DRL matches the Diode Dynamics DRL, but I'm cautiously optimistic. So, all right, grab this and we'll jump out to the vehicle. I'm going to triple check that the DRL actually works before I kind of fully decide on whether I need this harness or not for the DRL. All right, let's jump out there and get this on. Okay, so I've taken apart most of this front cover, and I like to take it apart this way because I have my Raptor lights here, and my Raptor lights mount right on this front bar, just like so. And so this is just an easy way for me to take this apart, but there's multiple ways to do it. I just like to take the side here loose. So there's a couple of bolts on this side. You pop that off. That gives you enough space to back out this bolt. There's a bolt here, there's a bolt here, and then there's a bolt right there. And they're kind of like a screw as well, because they typically just tighten into plastic. But some have threads. So this is what I do. It allows you to expose it enough to then come in and take out the headlight. And so I'm gonna swap out this one headlight for one of the Morimoto XBs. And I'll leave my Alpha X one in on the other side just so we can compare the hues of the amber DRL, because white is white sort of in my opinion, but the ambers can be different depending upon the brand. So I kind of want to see how similar or different they look first before putting both on. So all right, let's get this pulled off and then I'll show you the Morimoto installed here. So let's get to it. All right, so before I could really pick out whether the one is brighter than the other, this is kind of what I got going on. So you tell me which one you think is brighter. They look pretty equivalent, and the temperatures look pretty equivalent too. So I'll get an up close shot. I'm not going to change any of my camera settings, and we'll see what they look like. So here I'm going to tick down my f-stop to 4. Okay, so now same exact settings. I'm going to go look at both now. Alright, well, there's the last test of having the Diode Dynamics DRLs next to it, and honestly, they look like a pretty good match. I'd say the Alpha X and Morimoto DRLs look pretty similar, and they look like a nice match to both, so There you have it. All right, let's get the other side installed. Another detail I think is kind of cool is look at the topo on the side here. Isn't that nice? All right, unlike the last headlight, I just want to show this one a little bit more directly. So you can see which parts in here are clear, which parts are black. This side here has that topo. Little marker on the side is orange. This top portion is all black. Kind of a clear lens on the DRL. There's kind of a chrome outline on the front of these. I think the left two are low beams. That one is a high beam. It's kind of got these like metal fins on the bottom. I don't know if those are at all for cooling or just looks. Probably just for looks, considering no wind actually hits that. But yeah, they're a pretty sharp headlight. It's pretty subjective, but I like them. They're cool. All right, here we go. So we've got a little bit of street lights here and there, but hopefully it's gonna kind of get a lot darker here. So just gotta let some of these cars pass so I can flip on my brights. Here's the high beams. So it definitely throws better light than just the low beams. And you definitely get a lot of reflection up in the trees. Here's the fog lights compared to the low beams, just to get a little bit of additional comparison. And if we get out here a little farther, it's gonna get pitch black. I'm gonna just show you the crosslink. So here's just fogs, here's high beams, here's crosslink. Here's fogs. Alright. Here's ditch. So just filming and like here's no light. There's light. Here's high beams one more time. Here's my bumper. That's another good test just to show the difference in temperature. So here's low beams, here's high beams, here's the front bumper. So contrary to what this video might look like, the low beams are pretty white. So I've got them not perfectly aimed, so I'm gonna need to adjust that when I get home. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. And these seem to be quite bright, like without the superchargers. So I think the superchargers could be handy if you don't have any other off-road lighting. But if you're like me and you've got LED bars or pods, you know, I think these would be a nice option, and then you're DOT compliant. You know, you always run the risk. If you're gonna try and run non-DOT compliant stuff, you know, that's illegal on road. So that is your decision to make. But if you're just gonna run them off-road, to swap them in and out isn't impossible, but will take you a little time before and after a night run. So they are pretty hot swappable, though, I will say that. Like, if you wanted to, you could swap them in and out in half an hour on the trail. That wouldn't be too hard. All right, well, that's going to be a wrap for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you got any questions about the product, feel free to drop them down below. I'm going to link the install guide and also the products to their website, so if you want to go check those out, you definitely can. Morimoto actually did a really good job with their install manual, so if anything didn't quite cover, the steps or whatever in this video, just go check out their install manual. It's really comprehensive. And I actually screenshotted a couple areas in their manual to kind of give extra detail in this video, so they did a good job with their diagrams and all that stuff too. All right, well, like I said, I've got some cool stuff coming. I've got a lot of projects I've been filming. I just need to get the videos out. So if you're not subscribed or you're wondering when I'm going to be posting videos, subscribe and click that notification bell, because that'll actually notify you when I post a video. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, go check me out over there. I take cool photos of kind of me out on the trail, and I've got some different short form content over there. And it's a lot of fun. Plus, you can use sort of the different audios that people put out, and I try to pick those every now and then when I think they're fun. So go check me out on Instagram as well. But that's gonna be a wrap for this video. Appreciate all of your support. It's good to be back, and I'll catch you all in the next video.